Take a look around your neighborhood right now. Imagine the quiet streets, kids playing outside, dogs barking down the road. Everything feels normal, right? But what if I told you that behind one of those picket fences, inside that perfectly kept house, lived one of the darkest family secrets in modern history? This is not just another true crime story. This is the horrifying case of Christopher Watts, a man who destroyed his entire family, and for a while, almost got away with it. And by the time we're done tonight, you'll realize that sometimes, the real monsters don't hide in shadows. They smile right at you. Let's get into it. Chris and Shanann Watts. To their friends, their neighbors, their entire town, they looked like the perfect family. The kind of family people admired from afar, wishing their own lives could be so picture-perfect. Shanann was vibrant, always posting updates about her two daughters, Bella and Celeste, and her excitement about her third baby on the way. She loved sharing every milestone, every laugh, every little moment. Her social media, filled with happy photos, sweet videos, family vacations, birthday parties, you know the type, every moment documented. To anyone scrolling, it looked like a life full of joy and love. And Chris? Quiet, friendly, kept to himself mostly. He was the kind of neighbor who'd wave but rarely linger for small talk. He worked in the oil industry. Steady job, steady guy, reliable, responsible, and always on time. To outsiders, they had it all. A nice house in Frederick, Colorado, beautiful children. A marriage that seemed solid, the American dream, right there on their street. But here's the thing, social media lies. Behind those smiling photos, something was brewing. Not everything was as perfect as it seemed. In 2015, Chris and Shanann filed for bankruptcy. $70,000 in debt. Bills piling up, credit cards maxed out. Financial stress was crushing them. But Shanann kept smiling online, never letting the cracks show. But that wasn't the only secret Chris was hiding. Around this time, he met someone new. Her name was Nicole Kessinger, a co-worker at the oil company. They started an affair, and Chris became obsessed. He felt alive again, he later admitted. He said she made him feel like a man again, like he was finally seen. It wasn't long before Chris started seeing a future with Nicole. And in that future, there was no Shanann, no Bella, no Celeste, just him and freedom. But that dream would come at a terrible cost. August 13th, 2018. Shanann returns home from a business trip, pregnant and exhausted. By the next morning, she's gone. So are Bella and Celeste. Her friend grew worried. Shanann missed her prenatal appointment, wasn't answering calls or texts. So, her friend called the police, officers arrive. Everything inside the house looks untouched. Her purse, phone, car, all still there. But Shanann and the kids vanished. Chris shows up, calm, polite, says he has no idea where they went. He even does TV interviews, pleading for their return. "I just want them back," he says on camera, voice steady, eyes dry. But here's the part that gives me chills. While the world watched him beg for his family's return, he already knew exactly where they were. Police weren't buying his act. Neighbors noticed it too. Chris seemed too calm, too rehearsed. Investigators asked him to take a polygraph test. And guess what? He failed, badly. They pushed harder, and Chris finally broke, but not fully. His first confession? He claimed Shanann killed the girls, and he, in a fit of rage, killed her in response. But detectives saw through his story almost immediately. They sensed something much darker was hidden beneath the surface. The evidence didn't add up. They knew that wasn't even close to the truth. Soon, under mounting pressure, Chris finally told the real story. He admitted he killed Shanann, with his bare hands, ending her life in a moment of cold brutality. Then, shockingly calm, he wrapped her body in a sheet, showing no remorse for what he'd done. He loaded her into his truck, as if it were just another task. And this is the part that still haunts me to this day, a memory that never fades. He put his two little girls, Bella and Celeste, alive, in the back seat of that same truck, their innocence unaware of what was coming. He drove them, in silence, to an oil site where he worked, far from anyone who could help, and there, one by one, he killed them. First Celeste, then Bella. Bella's last words were heartbreakingly, "Daddy, no." The pain of that moment is unimaginable. He stuffed their tiny bodies into crude oil tanks, then buried Shanann nearby trying to erase his crimes, all because he wanted to start over, to erase his past and escape responsibility. Chris later admitted he didn't want to be a dad anymore, or face the life he'd built. He didn't want to be married. He wanted out, no matter the cost. He just wanted to be free, to live a new life without his family. Debt, pressure, his affair, it all boiled over, creating a storm he refused to face. He said he felt like he became someone else, a stranger to himself. But let's be clear, this wasn't a moment of snapping or temporary madness. This was cold, calculated, planned. Every step was deliberate, and it left an entire nation in shock, struggling to comprehend such evil. Chris was charged with multiple counts of first-degree murder, forever marked by his monstrous actions. He pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty, sparing himself a trial but sealing his fate forever. His sentence? 3 consecutive life terms, no chance of parole. He would never walk free again. The judge called it one of the most inhumane, vicious crimes he'd ever seen, a tragedy that shook the entire community. Chris Watts, the man next door, now spends every waking moment in a prison cell in Wisconsin, far from the world he once knew. And then came the media frenzy, with reporters swarming the neighborhood and cameras flashing day and night. Netflix released American Murder: The Family Next Door, a haunting documentary using real police footage, text messages, even Shanann's own videos, giving viewers an unfiltered look inside the tragedy. It was chilling, because it wasn't reenactments, it was the raw, unedited truth. People were obsessed, replaying the footage, analyzing every text, every glance Chris gave on camera, searching for answers that might never come. But not everyone watched respectfully. Some saw it as entertainment, not tragedy. Some YouTubers and bloggers began spreading disgusting conspiracy theories, blaming Shanann, twisting facts, harassing her grieving family, and fueling online hate. Shanann's mom even had to sue to stop the lies, fighting for her daughter's memory in court. It was a reminder, true crime is real life for the victims' families. Their home, still empty, neighbors call it cursed, a constant shadow on the block. The house has been on and off the market, but no one wants it. Its story lingers in every corner. And honestly, can you blame them? The weight of what happened is impossible to ignore. How do you live in a place where something that horrific happened? The silence inside is deafening. Every room, every wall, every photo left behind, every floorboard holds a memory no one wants to face, a reminder of a nightmare that will never truly fade. Here's the part that still unsettles me the most. Chris Watts wasn't some scary-looking monster. He wasn't loud, aggressive, or known for violence. He was quiet, polite, calm, the smiling dad next door. But beneath that mask was a man capable of this. It makes you wonder, how many more people out there wear that same mask? If there's one thing this case taught us, it's this. Never trust appearances. Never assume you know what's going on inside a marriage or behind a smile. Social media doesn't show you the late-night arguments, the financial stress, the silent resentments, and sometimes, the people who seem the most loving are hiding the darkest secrets. Chris Watts is now locked away forever, but the impact of his actions still ripples through the world. His story isn't just another headline, it's a warning. Sometimes, evil doesn't look like a monster. Sometimes, it's the man next door mowing his lawn. The question we're left with is simple. How well do we really know the people around us? Thank you for watching. If this story unsettled you too, let me know your thoughts below. And please, share this video, subscribe, and stay aware. Because uncovering the truth isn't just about solving crimes, it's about never ignoring the danger signs again.